There's a kind of quiet that finds you after a season that stretched you thin. Not the quiet of loneliness, but the quiet of beginning again. Most days here start like this. The light slipping across unfamiliar walls, shadows moving gently across my room, the soft echo of a city waking around me. And somewhere in these small ordinary moments, something inside me begins to loosen, to breathe, to soften in ways I didn't know I needed. It's strange how light doesn't arrive all at once. Sometimes it returns in fragments, one breath at a time, one still morning at a time, one soft thought at a time. Maybe this is where light begins, not in grand change, but in the quiet places where we finally stop running. I didn't expect the quiet to feel like home. I didn't come here to chase the tourist route. And somewhere along the way, I realised that I didn't need to pretend that I wanted it. The lists, the highlights, the pressure to see everything, they weren't mine. I didn't want my days to be measured in attractions. I wanted them to be measured in meaning. So I shifted towards a local living lens, letting myself wander without expectation, letting colours brush against my hands, letting the city be real rather than curated. There's a softness in simply being somewhere, not just as a visitor, but as a quiet part of its rhythm. And in that softness, in the freedom to move without a checklist, I felt pieces of myself returning. Not loudly, not dramatically, but shyly, like light learning its way back after a long night. Maybe I didn't need more places. Maybe I needed more presence. When I slowed down, little joys found me where I wasn't even looking. A silly Christmas moment, a tiny burst of colour, a soft laugh I didn't plan. These weren't grand experiences. They were small reminders that joy doesn't need permission to return. It just needs space. For a long time I forgot what it felt like to smile without effort, to feel light without forcing it. But these small snapshots, these tiny sparks of warmth, reminded me that my joy never left. It was simply waiting for a life that had room for it again. Sometimes the smallest moments carry the heaviest healing. There's something sacred about taking care of yourself without needing a reason, without apology, without rushing, without explaining why you deserve gentleness. Sitting in that salon chair, I saw a version of me that I hadn't met in a long time. A woman who wasn't trying to be light, but slowly becoming it. Self-care isn't a luxury. It's a quiet returning, a reminder of the parts of you that waited patiently for kindness. And in those mirrors, With soft hands and warm voices around me, I realised I wasn't just taking care of myself. I was recognising myself clearly, tenderly, fully. I think I'm learning to see myself in a new light. And then something else shifted. A warmth I didn't expect. A presence I didn't see coming. Not a single moment, but a feeling. Subtle and real. Growing in the quiet spaces between days. I wasn't looking for connection. I wasn't reaching for anything. But something about this city and someone in it began to reach me in the places I thought were still closed. Not loudly, not dramatically, just softly, like a touch of sunlight on skin that had forgotten warmth. There's something beautiful about being seen gently, something that changes you without asking for anything in return. Some stories begin quietly, between footsteps and goodbyes, between passing trains and lingering glances. When the BTS pulled away, I felt something settle inside me. Not certainty, but something deeper. A quiet knowing. A thread pulling softly in a direction I didn't expect to feel so strongly. I don't have words yet. Maybe I don't need them. Some things aren't meant to be named at the start. Only felt. Only trusted. Only followed in the rhythm that they choose. Something is unfolding, and I don't think it's just me. Evening in Bangkok feels different when something in you is shifting. The water holds soft reflections. The city glows in its own heartbeat. And in that blue hour light, something inside me, something tired, something long silent, finally felt wake again. Light doesn't always return in a sunrise. Sometimes it returns in the way someone looks at you, or in the way the world feels softer around you, or in the quiet steadiness that settles in your chest when you realise that you're becoming more yourself than ever before. This isn't the end of a chapter. It's the first flicker of a light that I almost forgot. A light that feels like home. I'm Lainey, and this is what becoming light feels like.